Hi everyone, welcome to our channel. In this video, we're gonna see how to configure BSNL voice services on your mobile, which means you can make the calls from your mobile or laptop, or also you can receive the calls to your mobile or your laptop. So before we begin, I would like to give some basic introduction of BSNL fiber to the home. A BSNL fiber to the home provides two types of services, one for voice, where you can make the calls or receive the calls. Another one is for data. You can browse the internet or download, upload videos. Okay, and one more services, IPTV, that is being tested in some of the area of Kerala. Okay, so let's begin with this hardware device. So this is a DBC device. There are many other vendors. This device is called ONT, Optical Network Terminal. Okay, this device terminates the cable, a fiber cable that comes from the local cable operator. Okay, so this is the port, fiber port. The other end managed by cable TV operator connected to the OLT, optical line terminal, and this is the port RJ11, a normal traditional analog phone. So where you can connect your hard phone like this, and you can use this normal telephone jack. You can connect, you can use this phone to make the calls outgoing and incoming. So this device have two type of connections, one for LAN, another one for the WAN. A WAN is the connection going out from the device from this port. A LAN is your local network area. A WAN is wide area network, LAN is local area network. A local area network can be achieved a two-way to this device. One, using your RJ45 cables, LAN cables, a physical connection. Another one is a wireless. So both wired and wireless are being used to make a LAN network to this device. Alright, let's connect to this device and get into the device and see how to configure voice as well as internet.
Okay, I am in the home page of ONT, which is 192.168.1.1. Let me get into this device. Let me get into this device. All right, so let's check about this local area connection first. So I'm going to this network tab and the LAN IP addresses. In this ONT, I have enabled DHCP services, which means you don't need to manually configure IP addresses in your laptop or mobile. When you are connecting to your DBC through wired or wireless, you will automatically be getting IP addresses from this DBC. It acts as a DHCP server, and I've added manually this primary DNS, secondary DNS. These are all the Google one. Okay, so we are good with the LAN side, and I'm going to show you my IP addresses that I received from this DBC. Okay, I'm into this network configuration pages. Let's open this Wi-Fi. As you see this, it has been connected to this local Wi-Fi, and you can see the IP addresses what I received. Alright, so this is the IP addresses, and you can see that I have enabled dynamic IP address configuration, which means I'll be getting IP address from this DHCP server. So now I've got the IP addresses. Alright, so we are good with the LAN side. Let's have a look if I can ping to my gateway. Right. So this is nothing but YNT. Alright, I'm getting a reply, all good at the LAN side. Let's go ahead and configure two WAN interfaces, one for voice, one for internet. I'm into the status page of this DBC ONT. You can see the device model number and the firmware version. You may not have the same version, and I don't think you required. If you required, you can contact the DBC support center. They can email you the latest firmware where you can update. But you can give a try on your if you have the old version, you can give a try. So under the WAN connection information, there is nothing because we haven't created any WAN interfaces. I'm gonna create a WAN interface, going to the network and internet connection. Okay, presently nothing is there, so let's create a data network first. Add a new connection. Okay, I'm changing this to root mode. Protocol is IPv4 and it would be PPPoE. Okay, and enable VLAN. So this is how it should be. The service name can be anything, so you need to get the VLAN ID from the BSNL and the username password from the BSNL. The service mode is internet. Keep this is auto connect and make sure that you are not binding any of these ports. So go ahead and click save and apply. Okay, now let's go to the status and click the WAN connection information. When you click the WAN connection information, you can see the status of this VLAN. So I have just hidden these IP addresses for the purpose of security. Now you see that I have got the IP address and the status is up, so it's up and working fine. Now I should be able to ping the public IP addresses. This is now I'm getting a reply from the public IP addresses. Let's see if I'm able to reach. Alright, yeah, now it looks fine. I'm able to access. Internet is working fine. Alright, I'm back to this WAN configuration page, a network, internet connection. So let's create a new connection, a new WAN connection for the voice. It would be root mode and IPv4. Select DHCP. We will be getting IP address from the DHCP server of the BSNL. Enable VLAN, and you need to get the VLAN number from BSNL. I would recommend to put this MTU. DNS request is enable, so you will also be getting DNS request automatically from the BSNL. Service mode is voice internet. I have tried multiple options of this one. I was able to achieve the calls through this voice internet, so you may give a try. I'm gonna turn the LAN DHCP off, which means this will not provide IP address to the local area network like your computer or your mobile, because we have already enabled in another WAN profile. So we should check this box, and we are not going to touch this port binding. It will be as it is. We are not going to bind any of these ports. I'm gonna click save. Alright, let's go to the status, WAN connection information. Now a voice connection is also up. You can see the status, and we've got the IP addresses. So now voice is okay. Now we are good with the WAN side on this device, which means you have successfully created two interfaces, one for internet and one for voice. Both are up, and you have received the IP address from it. Now you need to configure voice in your laptop. using a soft phone application or voice over IP application. So I have given the link to download that app in the description. Go ahead and download and install that app. Okay, let's get into that app to see how to configure the voice over IP on your laptop. Alright, I have downloaded this ZoiPer 5 application that helps to make the calls and also receiving the calls. Go ahead and click next, accept the agreement, next, next, next. Mine is 64-bit version, all user, next, next. Alright, so let's launch that. I'm gonna continue as a free user. Now enter your telephone number that you got for your BSNL fiber connection. It would start 91 and the specific district code, then your number. I have entered my telephone number and password which I got from the BSNL. Now we need to add SIP server IP addresses for the registration. With a port number. This would be the same I think in most cases. Yeah, you can skip this. Okay, so now we are not able to reach this SIP server. The SIP UDP should be green when you are trying to achieve this. Okay, let's have a look if we can reach that this server IP. Okay, you have the connectivity but still we are having a problem, right? So we need to add routing into the TBC ONT. Let's go ahead and add a routing for the 10 network so that you should be able to reach in the right in WAN interfaces. Before we go ahead and add the route, make sure that your SIP service is enabled in this DBC ONT. So for that, go ahead and click on application. Under ALG configuration, make sure that the SIP is enabled. Okay, if it is disabled, click enable, save, apply. Now we are going to add a route for the 10 network to reach SIP server to the right gateway. I'll show you what is the current status. Okay, network, router, static route. Nothing is there. You would see this page like this one. Nothing would be there. Click show route. So this is the current routing table. I have just snipped that and added the sensitive information. So now you can see that the PPPO, okay, this is your data interface, right? And BR0 is your LAN interface. 127.0.0 is your loopback, and NAS0_1 your voice. So this is voice interface. Okay, now your server IP address is 10.187.7.12. by default it will come all the way to this lowest line and it will trying to reach to this WAN internet interface where the data is going through, which is not required here. We need to divert all 10 network, which means 10 dot whatever something that includes 187.7.12 as well. Will all 10 network will be pointing to this specific voice interface, which is called NAS0_1. So I'm gonna add a 10 network, then I'll go ahead and test that SIP server registration and see if ZoiPer can reach into that BSNL server. Copy your voice default gateway IP address from the status WAN connection under a default gateway of voice. Okay, so copy these IP addresses. We're going to use this is the gateway to add a network. So I have entered the destination network, which is 10.0.0.0 subnet mask 255.0.0.0, and gateway you need to type the complete IP addresses that you copied from the status page, paste it. No, I haven't pasted, I just ignored for the security purpose, and metric interface. Now select the voice interface, click add. You will get the route under this static route. Okay, now you can see that the network has been added statically. Let's click show route and see what are the routes presented now. As you see now, there are updated routing table. A new network has been added manually, which is pointing to your voice interface instead of your data interface. By default it was going through this 000. Now we have diverted this network to voice interface to reach the SIP server for the voice registration. Let's go ahead and click next, skip. Let's see if this yes, you see that UDP is successful. This guy is fine now. Now let's click next. You can see the ZoiPer 5, it is registered to this server. You can see this green color tick mark, which means you have successfully registered to that SIP server. Now one more configuration that you need to add into this ZoiPer 5. Click on settings, this icon, click on accounts. So the one more configuration you need to add is this under the optional SIP credential. You need to add the outbound proxy with the same IP address of your domain. It's 10.187.7.12. So add it, save it, then you should be able to make the calls. I was successfully able to make the calls. I hope you will also be getting the same response. In order to configure the same thing on your mobile, you need to download an app called GSWave, which is Grandstream Wave. So download and install. Then you need to use the same settings what we have configured on this ZoiPer 5. After you installed, go to account settings, click plus button, click SIP account, enter the SIP server IP address with the port number, click OK. SIP user ID and authentication ID would be the same, that is your phone number given by BSNL. Enter the password. Account name can be anything. Click the account again, scroll down, add outbound proxy as the SIP, the same SIP server IP. Click OK. And go to advanced settings, click network, make sure that only Wi-Fi has been enabled. And that's all. If you want to use your analog phone connected to this DBC ONT, then you need to come to this application and under VoIP. So click this. This page is specifically to have your analog phone connected to your ONT, where you can dial out or receiving the calls. Configure as shown in this picture, and let me scroll down. Enter the phone number, and again the phone number and the password. You need to make sure that this has been enabled so that your phone will work when you connect to the ONT port. So you can also have this analog phone connected to your ONT to make outgoing and receive incoming calls. I would like to add a few things here. Now we have configured on laptop using the ZoiPer app. Now you can make the calls. When someone dial to a number, that will by default come to your laptop, and now you are configuring to your mobile. Then if someone dial your number, when you are getting incoming call, that will come to your mobile. The reason behind, whatever the device which is the lost registration, okay, so that will be receiving the incoming calls. And if you have any problem, go ahead and check first the routing entry and make sure that that network is presented in the routing table. If it is not, just click that existing route, click update, it will automatically come to the routing table. Alright, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for watching this video. If you have any question, concerns, tips, tricks, add into the comment section. Every day is learning day for me. Let's learn together. இந்த வீடியோ உங்களுக்கு பிடிச்சிருந்தா ஷேர் பண்ணுங்கள், சப்ஸ்கிரைப் பண்ணுங்கள். இந்த வீடியோ உங்களுக்கு தமிழில் வேணும்னு நினச்சிங்கன்னா கமெண்ட் பாக்ஸில் ஆட் பண்ணுங்கள். தமிழ்லேயும் இந்த வீடியோ போடலாம். நன்றி, வணக்கம்.